Hi there, business owner. Do you want a better understanding of business finance, what your numbers actually mean, and stories of the highs and lows of business, where I'll be sharing my tips and tricks every week? Then you're in the right place. Welcome to the 3Bs podcast with Stephanie. Hi there, welcome back to another episode of the 3Bs podcast with Stephanie. This is episode 8, and this week we're going to dive into the world of payment solutions for UK business owners. So I'm going to discuss the pros and cons of more than 5 popular options to help you make an informed decision for your business. These are all payment solutions that either myself use in my practice, in my business, or my clients use. So these are all products that I've used, tested, and can give you the ins and outs to work out what's best for you. So I'm going to start with 2 of the probably more popular payment solutions on the market that are widely advertised, and that is SumUp and Square. So they're both very similar. They're both great for if you're in person. So both of them, you can have hardware options where you have your own little chip and pin device and you can tap cards or insert them in and enter a chip and pin. So that is great if you're in person, if you run a market store, or if you're a mobile hairdresser, for example, someone that takes payment there and then. They are great options for you. They're very similar. My only difference between the 2 is that Square still has a virtual terminal option. SumUp no longer has a virtual terminal option, and that is where you can take a payment over the phone. So unlike WorldPay, where you have to pay a subscription fee and have the device with you at all times, Square and SumUp allow you to move, be more remote, be more flexible, and you can still use a virtual terminal with Square to take payments over the phone should you need that option. The payment link functionality is available on both Square and SumUp, and that is where you can text or WhatsApp or email a secure link. They both link into accounting software such as Xero, so you can send an invoice from Xero and Square or SumUp link will be on there and they can pay directly that way. They both have open banking technology, and the payment link option both have a 2.5% transaction fee. With the virtual terminal on Square, that's also a 2.5% fee. So there's no difference between the 2. It's just if you need that virtual terminal functionality. And then the other difference is the in-person transaction fee. So if you're doing chip and pin contactless payments, it is 1.75% per transaction for Square and 1.69% for SumUp transaction fee. Next, I'm going to talk about GoCardless. It's another one that's quite popular and quite well known. GoCardless is specializes in recurring payments, so it's ideal for businesses that have subscription models or regular invoicing, recurring fees. It integrates with most accounting softwares, and it can collect payments globally. So if you are an online business or you're a business that trades internationally and want the recurring payment functionality like a direct debit, GoCardless is the best choice for you. It's not ideal if you just want a one-off payment. There is other options available if a one-off payment is what you're looking for. But GoCardless, again, can integrate with Xero, so you can send the invoices out and they can click the button, set up their direct debit, and then the payments are recurring. It's great if you have a monthly fee. So if you have a dance school, for example, I'm trying to think of examples for each ones where these are going to work really well. If you have a dance school, for example, you're taking payments on a termly basis, then they can be set up. It doesn't have to be daily direct debits. You can, or monthly, you can specify the period between payments, which is quite good for GoCardless. Now, the fee structure with GoCardless is slightly different. So unlike SumUp and Square, where you only pay when you take a payment, the GoCardless has the transaction fees, but it also has different levels of subscriptions that you can have, which give you extra functionality. So if you're based in the UK and your business is in the UK and you are taking payments from the UK and Europe, then it is 1% plus 20 pence per transaction. So that's up to £4. So depending on the volume of your transactions and the value of your transactions, that can become quite high in transaction fees, which needs to be taken into consideration when you choose which payment solution to go with. GoCardless obviously takes away that time and the admin of setting up the payment every month, so you need to think about what is going to be more beneficial to you. So maybe paying the transaction fee may be more beneficial if you have lots of payments that are of a low value on a recurring basis, because the time you would save in the administration of those would be better spent by giving GoCardless that transaction fee and enabling them to do it for you. If you want to take payments internationally, it's 2% per transaction plus that 20 pence. That does have the currency conversion included, so that would convert back to GBP, Great British Pounds, if you needed to. And then the standard subscription models that GoCardless pay, which is on top of the transaction fees, you can have your standard one, which is free. You can put your logo on there and you pay per transaction only. Then there's the Plus model, which is an extra £50 per month, which means that your name would show on the bank statement rather than GoCardless, which would enable them to obviously identify that it's you that payment is relating to. There's extra customization options on your payment page, and that is £50 plus VAT, so that's £60 per month for their Plus tier pricing. And then they also have a Pro pricing, which is £200 a month plus VAT plus your transaction fees, and that would give you a fully integrated customer experience. You could make your own payment pages, you could use your brand colors, you can customize the payment emails, confirmation emails that they get through the system. You can also have the option to invite customers to set up their direct debit either over the phone or in person, whereas with the Plus and the standard models it is online only. And they also have a custom volume-based prices. So if you are a business with a very large number of transactions with a high transaction value, then volume-based pricing, it may be best to have a discussion with GoCardless, as they might be able to set up a bespoke package for you, which would tailor to your needs. Now, next I'm going to talk about Crezco, which is one you may not have heard of. So Crezco is an accounts receivable and accounts payable option. Their accounts receivable option starts with a free package, so it's really great if you are a new business or a startup or a smaller business where transaction fees really are crucial to you and your profitability. So it's something that you want to really hone down on the costs of. Crezco is brilliant. It is one of my favorites. I've been working with Crezco now for around 18 months, and it's what I use in my practice. And every client that comes through the door, I tend to get onto Crezco too, because there's just so many great functionalities and options that you can have with Crezco. Crezco uses open banking technology, which means you don't need to input card details all the time. It links with Xero. So what happens with the Crezco is you set it all up, you link your bank account, you link your software, and you can send your invoices out via Xero, and there's an automatically a pay now button on there, and Crezco, it will take them to Crezco where they can log into their banking via open banking and authorize the payment. Now, what's great about Crezco is it's fee-free. There's no waiting time. With some of the other payment solutions, you'll get payment the next working day. Crezco is usually instant. They say within 2 hours, but usually it is instant. I've yet to have it not instant. It connects with a wide variety of banks. There's a couple that it does not yet work with, and that's only because they don't yet have open banking technology. So Metro Bank is one of them, for example. Now, what I really love about Crezco is that they have a recurring payments option. So like a direct debit, it is done via a standing order. So you would set up the payment link in Crezco. It can link to Xero, or you can directly send the link to the client or the customer. They go in and set up the payment, just to press the button once, and it takes the recurring payments. You can choose to do that either indefinitely or for a certain number of payments. Now, what I really like about that is it sets up a standing order rather than a direct debit in the client's bank. And that means there's no miscommunication of numbers. They're going to know straight away that it's going straight to you. There's no room for error. There's no room for human error. And that's what I really love about Crezco. They also have fantastic customer service. I actually bumped into them at Accountex last week as well, and they were a couple of weeks ago now at Accountex. And it was really great to meet them in person because we'd worked together on Zoom for the last 18 months or so, and I've been given feedback to help build some of the functionalities that we needed. And they also have international payments. Now, what's great about the international payments is they're a much lower transaction fee than most of your standard banks will provide. And again, it's pressing a button, so you take away that human error option for typing in one digit wrong, especially when it's international and there's SWIFT codes and IBAN numbers, etc. They also have just released their accounts payable function. So for just £5 plus VAT a month, you can click all the bills and it will pay all the bills in one authorization, which is really great for payroll. So what we use this for here in our practice, ABCS UK, is that we use it to pay the payroll. So when we do a client's payroll, we send them a bank payment file via Crezco that has all the employees' bank details and payment amounts already on there. So they authorize the payroll, we send them a bank payment, they open up their online banking and authorize the payment once, and on the date that we choose, all of the staff get their money at once, which removes so much admin, so much time, so much stress and pressure to get it all done instantly, which I think is game changing. It's absolutely game changing. And you can also do it with supplier bills. So if you are a bookkeeper or an accountant and you're listening to this, or you process, multiple sales bills for a client, a customer, or an employer, then Crezco could be a really great option for you to look into. I will include links in the show notes to all of these so you can log on and find out more about each specific payment solution. Now, next up is Apron. Now, Apron is a relatively new solution, but it's one where I have met the owners and founders of the app, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really great solution. And similar to Crezco with the accounts payable, Apron is an accounts payable solution. So it's a user-friendly platform. It's really simple to use. It has a range of features designed to simplify payment processing, and that's supplier payments and payroll payments. So similar to Crezco, where you would potentially get all your bills on Xero or your accounting software of choice, you would tick all the ones that want to be paid, you'd put them into a batch payment file, and you would send it off to the business owner or the CFO, whoever pays the authorizes the payments in that business, and they will open it, click a button, and authorize it, and all of the supplier payments or payroll payments are made in one go, freeing up so much time and saving you so much money in the long run as business owners. Their payroll only option is completely free to use, so you can have up to 50 payroll to 50 employees on that payment solution, and you can have up to 2 approvers on there as well. So if there's 2 people who make the decision, it can go to 1 or both. If time is tight and you want to get it authorized as soon as possible. They also have 2 paid options, which are their basic option at £29 a month plus VAT, and their pro option, which is only £49 a month plus VAT. And that gives you between 50 and 100 supplier payments each month and 100 payroll payments each month, depending on either of the paid plans. They've also introduced a 1-month free trial now, which means you can use it for a month, see how many payments you're actually using, and it'll give you a really good idea, a full overview of how beneficial and how much time and money Apron can save you. If you think you're going to use more than 100 supplier payments in a month, or if you have more than 100 employees or 100 payroll payments in a month, then you can get in touch with the guys at Apron, and I'm sure they will build you a bespoke pricing structure to fit. And just really quickly, because I wanted to just add in one more bonus one, and I know I'm already over 15 minutes, so I'll be as quick as I can. I wanted to mention IWOCAPay by IWOCA. So they offer a pay in 3 solution, which is great if you have larger invoices and clients need to pay in 3. It is a 3% fee, so it is slightly higher than all the others that we've discussed on today's episode. But you can choose whether you pay it as a business or pass that 3% fee on to the customer. So it can be fee free to you if the client's going to pay the 3% fee, to have the option to pay in 3 equal installments. Links to all of these payment solutions are in the description and in the show notes. And if you've got any questions, just feel free to get in touch. I'm more than happy to discuss the different options with you. Oh, and also, just before I go, you don't have to have just one of these payment solutions, and you could have another payment solution that you love, and that's great. In my practice alone, we have Square, Crezco, Apron, and IWOCAPay. So you can have more than one solution depending on the different clients and different needs of your business. So do have a look into it and let me know how you get on. And that brings us to the end of another week of the 3Bs podcast with Stephanie. Thank you so much for listening. I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to it, so that I can reach more business owners and help them build better businesses. See you next week for the next episode.